Hello everyone and welcome back to our Witness channel and our little Chia experiment. Yeah, things have changed a lot over the last few days and unfortunately we couldn't make any videos because our neighbor was ripping apart his house, so we were basically living on a building site here. So yeah, welcome back and let's talk about what happened. So as you can see, the price for the Chia has just gone down significantly over the last few hours. We are looking at $349 at the moment for the Chia, which means Chia is in a pretty bad place at the moment. If you think that most of the Chias in circulation now have been bought in a price range far above the price we are having at the moment. That means we are looking at a lot of blood, and the problem will be, or the thing to look for will be, how patient the people are. If you look at the historical data, then you can see that most of the buying and selling has occurred above the $600 range. If you look at the volumes in sales and buys, you can see that most of it is ranged above the $600 mark. So that means basically everybody, or that means most of the people who own Chia at the moment have either farmed them or have bought them above the actual price they can realize when they sell right now. And as you can also see, the sales and buys of Chia were very subdued over the last few days. There isn't much going on in the market, and even though the price is falling, and it is not, to be fair, it's not Chia alone. So we also have a fall in the price for the Bitcoin today, which is back to 34,000. And what we also saw on Friday, it was option day for those of you who do not follow the stock market. We also saw a decline in the stock market on Friday, and we also saw a decline in the gold price on Friday, which is pretty rare that everything is declining at the same time, and that is usually a hint that the market actors are changing their preference to cash. So what we might be looking at the moment is that the big actors are cashing in whatever they have and then wait and see what happens and where they can invest their money. With the real world economy picking up again, there might be some opportunities to invest money, and obviously at the moment it is a pretty safe bet to invest in everything which is related to the real world economy. That means contracts in cement or in soya or in whatever commodities you have, apart from gold and silver at the moment, where we have a huge overhang in shorts. So there will be the question to answer there is if the unlimited selling of shorts will come to an end, if there will be some kind of regulation in the market which actually stops the artificial deflation of gold and silver prices, or if they will try to continue and thereby take the risk of bringing down whole economies. Because in the end, as we all know, we are all dead, and you can't in perpetual deflate the price of anything against all reality. So what we are seeing is a devaluation in US dollar, and it is artificially held back, but that will come to an end one way or the other. But at the moment, that means that we have a decline in the value of all assets because of the big players turning to cash preference to see where the next opportunities will be. So Chia is between a rock and a hard place, being being caught in the change from a bull to a bear market. And what is also remarkable is that we only saw a rise in 2 exabyte during the last week of net space, but we saw a rise in 200 of difficulty. That means this is between a rock and a hard place, because you have the rise in difficulties, you have the rise in net space, and you also have a falling coin price. So my prediction is that the growth in net space will slow down. Prices for hard disks will also come down, and we will find out if the Chia coin price will remain for between $340 and $360 for the next week, or if we indeed see a 200. And then the question is, if we see the 200, how long the Chia coin will remain above the 200, and where it will be by the end of next month. We have heard nothing from the farming, from the pools. We had a clock running here since yesterday, but they replaced the clock with an empty space, so we don't know why the clock has not just been stopped or any other notice given. But as you can see, until yesterday we had a clock ticking here for hours and minutes and seconds, and this obviously has been replaced by an empty space. So there's no news here. And we didn't hear anything about any plans about apart from that they look for an IPO, but we have not heard anything more specific about it. There was a review from the IDC which reads a bit like a slap in the face to every Chia farmer. It is an interesting reading where they say that the impact on the hard disk market will be cushioned off by the industry, which is exactly what I don't think. And they also say that realistically there is no option for them to increase the supply of hard disks for the consumer because they have long-term delivery arrangements with the industry, so there's basically no capacity left to keep up with the consumer demand. The net spec growth has slowed, but it is still significant, so 2 exabyte per week is still a lot. If we have a look at our farming, that means we were 37 years last week, and we are now 41 years with 4 plots. I would just use that as an example and as a sign where it's going. The number of nodes has increased to 459,000, and as I said, the difficulty to 1,776. What is a bit quirky is that we see not only huge variations in the net space, but we also see huge variations in the difficulties on some days. So it goes up and down around the 100 sometimes, which is pretty astounding. So you can see at the moment the net space is falling again, and then it will pick up again. It is a bit erratic at the moment, but the number of nodes has been steadily increasing over the last 5 days. So that's the price of the Chia coin. So obviously there was a period where it was the descent was pretty slow, but now this has changed today with a huge decrease in price, and we will see how far this goes. I'm not looking forward to the next week. I think if the cash preferences are actually increasing, then we will see a decline in all kind of assets for the next week. H pool is still the biggest pool. They have increased their market share from 7.2 exabyte to 9 exabytes. So basically they have taken the whole 2 exabyte of network growth onto their pool, and their share of coins reflects exactly their share of the network space. So no change here. So that is basically what was going on over the last 5 days. There are a few more, so that's the price in euro. There were a few more offers where people try to sell their whole farms now, which is not surprising given the price of the coin. So in euros you have to pay around about 700 euros for a 20 terabyte hard disk now, and that means you need to win 3 coins to get your investment back for hard disk only. So there goes the incentive for the small farmer, because it is becoming more and more or increasingly uncertain if you ever get your investment back with the price of the Chia coin declining that fast. And that was exactly why we stopped plotting and stopped all our Chia activity, because we were under the impression that both would happen, that as we would buy overpriced hard disks, the price for the coin would decline, and also would decline the price for the hard disks. So we would be plotting for less and less reward. And yeah, the other point is that with plotting time decreasing rapidly, that means that you also need to buy your storage faster and faster, and that means we have to wait until hard disk prices have come down to a level more sustainable to plotting. In my opinion, it will be when the Chia coin has reached the 200, then we will see an actual decline in the market for in the market price for hard disks. So we are now at 1 minute K32 plots. Yeah, that was exactly the problem. The plotting on the fly not only seems to be a distant possibility anymore, it seems to be the case that actually people are already playing with the possibility of plotting on demand, and that means they will be able to catch Chia directly without storing the plots at all. So if that is a possibility, which seems to be a bit distant at the moment, but we all know how inventive some people are. And if you want to have a look at that, you can find it in the Chia forum under general discussions by ENJ, and he has wrote a good article about what the outcome of that might be. And I'm not so far, in my opinion, away from him. I think he has a valid point, and we will see how long it takes until we see the first not so very eco-friendly farm for Chia, which is basically following the same rules as every other farm, which means high electricity use for farming Chia. And that, yeah, might not be that far away, and that would also reflect on the prices of the hard disks. So that is the outlook. At the moment, nothing is really exciting. I don't see much point in taking up the activity at the moment. We will wait for another week or two. We are waiting for the actual news on the official Chia farming, and then we will decide what to do. And also we are looking at the gold and silver squeeze, and yeah, we are thinking that that might be something which is more important at the moment than whatever is going on in the Bitcoin sphere or in the crypto coin sphere. That might have much bigger implications for the financial markets and for the price of cryptocurrencies than whatever is going on in the crypto market itself. So thank you very much for listening. Have a very good day. And I hope everything settles over the next 2 weeks. And then we can have a fresh start by the end of July and see if there will be a second go on Chia with July gone, and when we go into August, that we have found the bottom line and everything gives us a little bit of a stable outlook on what is to come. But at the moment, my decision is clear. I just keep my arms behind my back, watch everything settle, and then we will decide what we want to do. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and have a wonderful sunny Sunday.